All right, welcome back to the URG Podcast. Today, I'm joined with some very talented guests that I'm actually very excited to talk about all type of things today, and lots of music, lots of life things that I want to get into. So, let's get into it. To my left, I have Zack Guerrero.
What's up, man?
What's up, bro?
So nice to meet you. Thank you for having me.
Oh yeah, welcome in, bro. Thank you for pulling up. To my right, we have handsome Anson, aka Anson Corsair.
Yes, sir.
What's up, bro?
What's up, bro? All right, so let's start, with what we got on the table here. Anson, I checked out your project, Start the Change, and I was pleasantly surprised, you know what I mean? I don't know what I was expecting, but I was just like, wow, this just started my day so positive, so great, so energetic, and yeah, I really liked it. So tell me a little bit about what inspired this and how this project kind of came together.
Wow, man, cool. Yeah, the photo probably throws people off a lot because it looks like I'm a country star or something. But everyone says that it looks like country. Oh man, I went on a adventure. I started out playing music in the last year of high school, and it quickly became something I really loved to do, writing songs. And then fast forward, I jumped into a band, punk pop rock band, Red Hill Avenue. We did some things in Orange County, played some gigs in LA. Eventually, went separate ways, and I really wanted to work on writing my own songs. So post-college, I'm working in a biomedical field with my degree because my best friend's dad urged me to do it, and I was like, fine. I hated it, of course, because I knew I would, but maybe I set that up for myself. And I decided to go to India, do some yoga, get my certificate in teaching for yoga, and then come back and get my certificate in teaching for high school. And when I came back, I was renewed. 40 days of straight yoga was like, it brought me back into myself and into my calling, which was music. So I decided when I got back, I was going to do a full length album. And that's what started this album, a journey. I hit up my producer, Charles Bennett, and I was like, I got to do it. And I called in my drummer from the old band, and I was like, okay, you got to play all the drums. There's probably going to be like 8 songs with drums, and like some will be acoustic-y stuff, and then I'll just pull other musicians until it's done. And that started the project. I ran a Kickstarter, raised like $2,200, which was a lot for me, I guess.
Yeah.
It didn't pay the full price. It probably ended up costing like $7,000 total after printing and recording for a full year. I didn't know what I was really getting into, but I went every week for 6 hours a week to work with Chuck. And the week that I started, my mom passed away. So that kind of set like this big even harder intention, because I was like, well, she was my biggest fan. I can't quit now. I got to get the album done. But by the time we got the album done, printed, pressed, released, and album release party was finished, I was like full on in my grief, full, just drinking every day and other drugs. And yeah, so I kind of like fell out of music after that. That was 10 years ago. That was 2015. So from there, it's just been a journey back to, finding, producing at home, taking a step out of the limelight, if you will, and like not pushing out so far, but like more just going in, writing a lot of songs at home, jamming with friends at home, creating a little home studio like this, and just working on the craft for 10 years while, kind of also falling more into what I would call full-on alcoholism. But yeah, so 2 years ago I popped out of it, and here we are now working on the second album.
Wow, so this project is from 10 years ago?
Yeah, 2015 it released. Yeah.
But did it just go on streaming platforms recently?
Sort of. So it got taken down because it's been up the whole time, but it got taken down because of some shoddy promotion. I paid for. It got flagged.
Yeah, be careful of that, kids.
Yeah.
Of hiring random promoters and stuff like that. You will get your stuff flagged.
I think
the
I
Spotify
paid for
promotions
bots.
is crazy.
I think I paid for some bots or something and didn't know it. They were just like, "We'll put you on playlist and you'll get more plays." And I saw the plays go up and I was like, "It's working. This is crazy."
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, 3 months later, my album was flagged and they took the whole thing down. And there's no way to contact them. There's no way to contact TuneCore, the giant, of the industry. So I ended up finding a new distribution company, re-released the album, and then started releasing the new songs. And it kept all the plays, some of them. Anyway.
Wow.
It was a journey.
I didn't know that because when I was looking it up, I was like, okay, this kind of just dropped. I'm like, thinking it's all fresh, but okay, so this is but the singles that you've been dropping, those are newer songs as well. So those are all what you're talking about, the second project that you just mentioned.
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
There's anything that's not a part of this album. There's one single that I also released from my home production in like 2019, I think, and it's more of a hip hop vibe, which was really fun. But the new songs that sound similar but they're not a part of this, they're all from the new project.
Wow, okay. That's pretty crazy story. I didn't there's a lot to unpack there. And I kind of, you know what I mean? I want to ask a little bit.
I'm glad I
have some questions
full on cry right now.
The thing that stuck out to me is the bots thing, right? And I think it's so attractive. I mean, who doesn't want more listens on their stuff, But you want real people to be listening, right? You want to create real fans and real buzz or whatever. But, these ads, I get them all the time on my Instagram, look for, promotions. And you got to be careful about what's real and what's fake, and it can have some bad things coming out of it, So.
I know. I just threw in like $100. I think it was like $100 for one song promotion and $160 on another song. And I was like, cool. I'll just see if this works, and probably not gonna work. Next thing you know, album's gone. I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of crazy too. Like we're just, trying to promote our music, like trying to do what we're supposed to be doing
for this company being the thing.
Right.
I'm like, well, I didn't know.
That's insane. So did that happen recently when it got taken down?
It was last year, I think.
Oh, last year.
And it took me a while to find a distribution company. Mm-hmm. I was like hesitant to just go back to the same one. Yeah, no,
screw that.
Which I still use, even though, anyway.
Yeah, we don't have to promo them. Yeah. Okay, so I mean, I want to take it back a little bit. I want to ask, what was that experience like going to India and then learning that, and how did that affect your music, or why did that affect your music?
It was the first time I reconnected with, I guess, the concept of God or source or universe. And so my dad passed away when I was 11 days before my 11th birthday. And I feel like since that time, I didn't understand it, but I was unconnected to anything. I didn't have a belief. I didn't have a path. I leaned a lot on my mom, and I didn't realize it then, but I looked to her for the light that I needed in life, and that was what I guess I would say now is my higher power. She gave me everything I needed, the unconditional love that I needed to find in myself. So when I was in India on the last night, there was a group meditation on the roof, and I just remember finally having the thing, the whatever the thing is, man. The stars were lighting up, and my soul was on fire, and I just knew that something bigger than me existed. And so it was really a disciplined purification process. You wake up every day, neti pot at 4, yoga for 2 hours, vegetarian diet, 4 hours of class on philosophy and anatomy, learning about the body, then again yoga, then again meditation, then do that again, 6 weeks straight. Gnarly. Yeah, so it was kind of like a boot camp into spirituality.
Just like a spiritual boot camp. Yeah. That's exactly what I was thinking.
And I lost 20 pounds in 6 weeks, and I didn't drink anything or have any substances for the whole time, except once. I think I stepped aside and grabbed some like swaggy Himalayan swag.
Yes.
I smoked it, and I was like, "Oh, I'm so anxious." So I didn't do that again. But yeah, it was that.
And you think that, so like how did that translate to the music? Was it just like the discipline, or was it just like that spiritual kind of awakening that you were able to just bring back and write some songs with it?
Yeah, so a lot of these songs were already written, and it was more like freeing myself, giving myself the permission, discovering that if I was going to look back and regret something, it would be that I hadn't tried to release music. So you gotta try.
Yeah.
You gotta give it your best shot,
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I've heard some stories about India, but it is a very spiritual, like the history within like the religion there and everything. They're very spiritual people, so I can imagine how that that experience must have been. But
yeah, it was cool. It was extremely profound, and it's definitely worth going for anyone. I recommend it to anyone who can. In adulthood, you can't just take 6 weeks off.
Yeah.
But if you can, they do 4 weeks and 6 week programs, and even 3 weeks, I think, where you can just do a complete reconditioning of your body, mind, and spirit for, just sign up for the school. It's like a couple $1,000. They take care of everything. You go to class every day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. I would definitely want to try that one day. Okay, so then that kind of was that was the start, I guess, of you realizing, okay, I can do this music thing and I'm going to do it, right?
Right.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, or that I have to try, and I want to leave something. There's another aspect of it that, like, I lost my dad at 10, and coming of age, I realized I had nothing to revisit him with. And so, like, anyone who knows me now, if I die tomorrow, can always revisit me with this, even though it's not fully me, but it's something. I have a picture of my father. That's it. A still picture. But we have a podcast now, like which is cool. Like it's crazy how meaningful it can be to watch someone you love be talking on film or singing a song and re-experience them. So
yeah, I kind of look at the podcast the same way. I'm like, maybe we're not with Billie Eilish yet, but you know what I mean? We're capturing the moment of where we're living, of what we're living in, the experiences of the people around me, of some real people, some cool people, knowing that we're in this space, and being for others to be able to witness that. Like, yeah, we all hope that one day all this footage is like gonna impact someone like that, and hopefully someone that's close to us. So that's pretty cool to think of it like that, you know what I mean? Because I think of it in a similar way. But yeah, that's cool. Okay, Zach, I want to ask you, so when did you kind of get started within music, and what kind of led to where you've been this year, dropping all these singles and all the stuff you got going on now?
Okay, so so music's always been in the house. My mom always had an acoustic guitar. She sang in the children's church group and stuff like that. So there was always a guitar there, and I would always noodle around on it. And then when I was 12 years old, that's when I asked for a guitar for Christmas, and I got the guitar, and I just really just wanted to play stuff that I heard that I thought was cool, like all the things that people start guitar on, like Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes.
Classic.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. And so and so it was that, man, and I always dreamed of becoming some kind of rock star, always thought I'd be like some guitarist, some kind of like dark and mysterious guitar, that guitars that stood in the back of the band and, was real cool and stuff. But just out of necessity, I started singing, I started writing songs and you know, jamming with friends, there was nobody to be the vocalist, so I just kind of became that. Not really ever thinking that I would be a singer or knowing that I could have a voice or any of that, and so it all just started very organically, and writing songs and writing about experiences, usually when I'm like very hurt or celebrating something, or you know, things going on in my life, and just writing music, and so that writing and playing was always there, you know, and so going through different life stuff, you know, through my teens and 20s, my life kind of got off track in a lot of ways, and I ended up in addiction, and and that was just my life story, man, all through my teens and my 20s and into my early 30s, man. Was addiction, and you know, trying to live life, but really just you know, addiction coming in, and ruining every little thing that I tried to start. And so I wrote about those experiences, and yeah, I did want to you know, go to Hollywood, and you always have that dream of you know, some producer coming in and being like, hey, you, I'm gonna sign you, and you know, you're gonna be a millionaire and world famous, and eventually that came to a point where that was not even possible for me, you know, like in my late 20s, I'm like, oh, I'm too old, you know, at this point, and I'm not reliable, and all this stuff. And so, yeah, you know, I started on this recovery path when I was 32. And, and so, yeah, and that was just rebuilding my life. Basically, I just, you know, I didn't want to be, I wanted to have a career. I wanted to be a good father to my kids. I wanted to be a good man, and experience love, and, you know, pay my taxes, and, you know, stuff like that. I wanted to be normal. You know, and so recovery taught me how to be normal and stuff, and I was able to be reliable and get a job, and stuff like that, and get back in my daughter's lives, and stuff like that. And but the music just kind of never went away, and you know, about 2024, when I learned that I could write music again and not be all doped out, or not be drunk or any of that stuff, it was just like, wow, maybe I can just pursue this thing again, you know. And just and for me, what it is right now is you know, recording and producing, and things like that, just trying to be heard, you know, just put my music out, and what kind of like what Anson was talking about, like, what, you know, if I didn't try, you know, I don't know how that would feel. I know that I would feel like I failed if I didn't try to play shows, if I didn't try to release music, and so that's just what it's been about. And I'm lucky enough to have people around me like Anson, or people I've met at open mics who are of the same path, you know, like people like you know, like what you've built here, and you got your podcast, and you're really just throwing out, like, you know, throwing out the fishing line and seeing like, what's up, like, you know, like, let's try it, let's try to make things happen. And so that's the path I've been on for the past like year and a half, man, like, you know, dropping singles and trying to play shows, and that's what it's about for me these days.
That's beautiful, bro. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, addiction is a fucking bitch, bro. And there's a lot of, I'm sure it affects like a lot of people, like more so than not, and whether it affects you personally or someone you know. So like, I know that's
very true.
It's something that a lot of people deal with. So it's cool that you're open, and you're like able to talk about it, and able to talk about, you know, where you're at now, because, you know, I'm sure there's people out there that are probably thinking the same thing, like I like music, or I have a passion for something, but, you know, I have these things that I'm struggling with, and like, you know, maybe they don't feel like they don't know what to do, or whatnot. So it's cool to see, you know what I mean, what it can look like when you're able to tap in, you know what I mean, and tap into your creativity, and find a different outlet, you know what I mean. So that's pretty awesome. So how did you guys get connected, and because you guys are starting to do some shows together, and how did this connection happen?
So, I mean, me and Anson met at the Night Owl open mic.
Okay.
A great open mic in Fullerton, man. Like, great community.
Shout out to the Night Owl.
Shout out to the Night Owl. It just, they got a great
place.
thing. Yeah, and you play, you're only allowed to play one song, but that's because there's so many other artists that are there, and you just see, like, talent after talent after talent. And so I saw Anson there, and, I mean, just as a musician and a songwriter, I was very impressed with him. But I actually we connected, and it was just one of those things where he was like, hey, why don't you come over to the house? I got a little recording studio, and it was one of those things where in the past I probably would have said no, right? Like, you say yes in the moment, but when it comes to doing it, you're like, it might be awkward, I don't really know him that well, blah blah blah. And just lately I've just been saying yes, like, why not, man? Like, why not? Who knows where this thing could go, And so just from that, like, jamming together and all that stuff, and we kind of decided together that, like, yeah, Zack Guerrero by himself, I have a certain amount of eyes and a certain amount of following and stuff, but what if, like, we link together and we play shows together, we write together or whatever, as separate entities, but also, like, kind of together too. And maybe bring more eyes, maybe we can book more shows, like when it's him and his band, and then it's me and what I'm doing too. So we're stronger together. That's kind of the mindset thing behind this thing.
Okay, yeah, that's dope. So, yeah, I mean, come on, if you getting just one compared to the two, you're going to bring in double the amount of people. So, you know what I mean? If you're looking...
Just one.
Just... Hello. Well, ain't that a great transition, huh? What is just one? Well,
no, yeah. Before we get
to...
onto the just one, but just to carry on what Zach's saying, it's like, dude, I don't know. I feel like I've been wanting this. I've been putting it out. I've been energetically thinking about it. My desire, my goals were to make friends that were also musicians in the same level, with the same heart and passion, and with the same similar style. They can mingle, because you'll see lineups of artists and oftentimes they know each other, right? And if you can, you're stronger in a fellowship, you're stronger in a group, right? So if we can add another musician who's feeling the same fire, the same passion, and the same desire to play shows, and fits in the same, where it's like fans can like it all, kind of a thing. The more the merrier. If we can get like 4 even, or 5.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah. I mean, it's important to have a community. Like, it's important to have people that you can, send a song to, get an opinion on, and
100%.
Like the iron sharpens iron. It's always good to have a collective.
We say that all the time. Yeah,
iron sharpens iron.
100%.
Yeah, I dream of like inviting people to open for me, and then getting invited to open for people.
Yeah.
This would be the dream.
Right.
Yeah, we got to build that community though, because it's like sometimes I don't know. It's hard to find a community that exists like that, especially in Southern California, because we're like so close to LA there's just too much out here. So it's like it's cool that you guys are taking that initiative and building something, with like-minded people, so it's cool. Yeah.
Sure. And that's why the open mics are so important, so any artists out there, if you are a desire for that kind of connection and meeting like-minded people, find an open mic, and maybe you have to travel a little bit, or maybe, you can't make it every week. Try to make it semi-regularly, and, if you got to put yourself out there, I mean, in my opinion, and to get the things that you want, and you will meet other talented people. You will meet people with the same track in mind. It may not be immediately, we want things immediately, but I definitely encourage people, especially young artists or people who are trying to branch out more, to branch out. You know, you have to take those steps, and so yeah, that's what.
Can I just say one other thing? Synchronicity speaking, right? Like it was, you know, whatever however you believe prayer works or manifestation or, you know, ideology. What your focus, you get what you're focused on, right? And so you're focusing on these dreams, and you set little goals to reach these dreams, but sometimes they come from places you never thought they would, right? So part of my manifesto was to tell my story on podcasts. I'm not going to break through the music scene by being some sensational artist. I'm going to connect to the hearts of people through my story.
Sure.
And I set this intention like a year ago. And I was like, I had visions about it. I'd meditate. I'd see myself on podcasts telling my story, the whole thing, and then ending with a song. And I was like, I don't know how that I'm gonna get on these podcasts, but that's the goal. And then I met this guy, and like this is the first podcast I've done.
Wow.
That I've been invited to, but I didn't get invited to it. He got invited to it.
That's a great example of what we're talking about, right? Like he hit me up, you know, and we have some people in common, and you know, Overnight Success. I think they're a dope band, and I saw them on your podcast. I mean, I didn't know about you or had never seen it, and I saw them first, and then you hit me up, and then at that point, I was like, dude, you know, I don't know if I could fill up a whole hour or whatever it is. Or like I'm bringing Anson. Oh, hit up Anson, maybe. But that just goes to that thing where like his connections now become my connections, you know, and in an unselfish way. Like I'm not trying to get over on him. He's not trying to get over on me. We, you know, the you know, the rising tide floats all boats, right?
Yeah, we're trying to just take each other with each other, right?
For sure, sure. So
that's my goal too. Is like it's no longer a competition. We're just all growing together, you know. And if you want. If you want to write, I mean, obviously, there's got to be some reciprocation, right?
For sure,
You set boundaries, and you require communications and you know, responses, because you know, consistency in response is safe, all that stuff. But then, you know, if you're in, we're going together. You know, the brotherhood, the fellowship, whatever you want to call it.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're firing me up, dude.
I love it, dude. This is awesome. I mean, this is like...
I'm getting fired up, too.
I'm going to run through a wall.
My prayers have been answered, bro. I'm not joking that, when I say that.
Love that.
Yeah, that's awesome, bro. Yeah, I think it's important, too. Like, I've met a lot of people and been connected with a lot of people just through... like how you said earlier, saying yes to certain things, and you know, reaching out and following through and responding back, and being what's it called, reliable.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like being a reliable person.
Yes.
So it's important. So when you do get in that position, you have to do that, though. You have to be reliable. You have to, you know, be on top of your stuff, because if the people around you are and you're not, like it's gonna create a separation, you know. So it's awesome when, you know, you get the like-minded people, and then boom, it's like things happen, things are connecting, and things flow naturally. That's like the state and I feel like the position where most people want to be, no? Like just things happening organically.
Yeah, when you say yes, just do it. Even if you don't feel good about it later, you already said yes, you're committed. It's accountability, right? And so I've done that so many times, and this is the real transition, right? All it takes is just one, like just one good podcast that goes viral, just one good song, you know, just one meeting with someone that you didn't expect to be something that led you to just one person that was just one person away from the thing that you're looking for.
Sure.
So that's kind of the concept of the whole thing. I mean, it goes on forever. You can just make that cycle, that story keep going, just one. Like the other day, my this lady at the gym looked up at me. She was sitting on the floor, and she looked up at me and she smiled. She said, I see you smiling. And I was like, oh, just one smile, man.
Just one.
Yeah,
that's all it
cool.
takes.
Yeah.
And it was like, you know how you don't make eye contact with people at the gym very often, especially men and women don't do that, because women are afraid that if they make eye contact with you, I don't know. There's a whole slew of rules, and it just, we saw each other, and in that moment, I realized how important it was.
Yeah, that's way
it.
cool.
I will record it with this with this Indian man, and he recorded this instrument. I forgot what it's called, but it's like no, it's like a percussion thing, but it's so sick, and we had to like. It's so subtle because like they make little micro rhythms with the fingertips. Like it's like, like I don't know, it's crazy. Yeah. So I figured I had to learn how to record that instrument. I'm like, oh, I've never even heard of this before, but I had to figure out what mics to use, and was on YouTube watching some Indian dude like, oh, you got to use this mic, and like
shout out to YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube University.
Yeah. I was gonna say there's nothing. Their YouTube's so great, and the knowledge we can just pull up on the internet right now is like never before, right? But nothing beats having like a physical mentor who can be like, hey, set up like this, and show you, literally show you the ropes.
Oh yeah.
Like,
did you have a mentor, or did you have like?
That's what my producer Charles Bennett.
Shout out to Chuck.
Yeah, Chuck. He's amazing. Yeah. He's taught me so much over the years. And like after this first album, my whole goal was to build my home studio and produce my second album, right? Thinking this is awesome. I know how to do this now. And 10 years later, I'm like barely able to make what I feel like is presentable music, you know?
Yeah.
We're always our own biggest critic, though.
That's true, yeah. That's true.
The engineering part is like, and the mixing and the plugins and all this stuff, man. It's just, it's too much.
It's a world of learning.
But now I want to pass that on now to other people and coach and mentor and pass on what I've gained. Just keep the thing going.
Yeah. Who is Chuck? Can you explain a little bit more about Chuck? He sounds like a pretty awesome guy.
He's a cool dude. He's
a sound man at Chain Reaction, which is shutting down soon, unfortunately.
No way.
Yeah,
18th and 19th are the last 2 days this month, like 2 weeks, like a week and a half.
So I'm gonna actually go catch a show there this Saturday. Just my friend Andrew Rathbone's gonna play there this Saturday. But you know Rathbone? Okay. Yeah, I know Rathbone. So he's playing there this Saturday, and it's shutting down soon. So unfortunately, but I do want to go.
I might be able to go Saturday. I'm gonna go Thursday. I'm gonna try to go next Thursday after band practice, and I think Chuck might be able to get me in. He might not. It's so they've already sold out all the tickets. Even though he's like the sound guy there, it's
crazy.
It's kind of a big event, and it's crazy.
Well, how long has that been there? Like
40
years,
30, 40. I don't know.
A lot of legendary bands have played there.
Everyone, literally, from back in like the day.
And for people who may be watching around the world, the Chain Reaction is a venue in Anaheim that it's a local venue, but it's just solidly been around for such a long time, and all the people that have gone through there, it's like legendary and stuff, and shutting down this month.
Names, big names, everyone, all the big names have gone through, cut their teeth. It
was huge for not just like the punk scene, but just like rock, metal, hardcore, like all type
acts go through there too, you know, and
true,
but you were talking about Chuck. I'm sorry.
Chuck hit me up on MySpace in January.
Out to MySpace.
Yeah, MySpace. Shout out MySpace. What happened, man? Where'd you go, MySpace? Like, remember we had all this stuff on MySpace? It's gone. What if that happened to Facebook? All right.
Ooh.
But anyway, he hit me up, and I tell this story every time, and Chuck's like, no, it wasn't like that. He hit me up, and he goes, I'm offering this to you and one other band only. 5 songs for $100. It was like, take it or leave it, right? And I was like, guys. This guy. I was like, we're going to go record with this dude. And my drummer's like, I don't know, man. Is he any good? You know? And my other friend's like, well, let's check out his music. And my drummer's just like, he doesn't even have a real studio, you know? All this stuff. And I was like, I don't care. It's $100. It's like, it's literally like, take my money and give me 5 songs, and it'll be good practice for us at the very least. Anyway, Chuck ends up, he has a home, a room off in the side of a home, and at Crooked Creek Studios, or Crooked Creek Street in Diamond Bar, I think. And we go in, and like, okay, the drums sound pretty good. Like, you know, the kick's pumping, the snare's there, there's volume, and
potential.
Yeah.
Green flags.
And I don't know, we gave him the $100, and we went back a couple of times, and then we broke up for like 6 months, and we finally got back together. Like, come on, guys, we got to do this band thing. And then we brought he didn't have the house any longer, so we brought all of his equipment into my garage, and finished recording our first album, which was called Red Hill Avenue was our name. What was the album called?
Couldn't tell you.
It's a love-hate thing. Love-hate thing, I think. Yeah, anyway. Too long, man. Anyway, so it was a pop-punk album, like Blink-182 meets Yellow Card or something like that.
Fire.
Yeah, it was really fun. Good times, man. But yeah, so anyway, since then, I officiated his wedding because he's like, oh, you went to India? You're like spiritual and shit, you know? And I was like, what do you mean I can't officiate your wedding? He's like, just look it up and let me know.
You've been to India, so you're spiritual.
Apparently, yeah.
Qualified.
So I found out that like there's no rules in California for that, and I officiated his wedding, and that was the first one that kicked off. I did two more after that, which is it's a beautiful experience to do for someone.
Wow, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's a whole nother side thing, but very impactful on me. They showed me the meaning, the purpose, the depth of the commitment of marriage, you know.
Mm-hmm. Wow, okay, that's pretty cool.
And that's how I met Chuck. That's what Chuck did for me.
I now pronounce you Chuck and Anson.
Yeah, what? It was Chuck and Steph, his wife.
Okay, that's.
Did I marry Chuck?
Did I make a mistake here?
Yeah, so and that goes back to that kind of mentorship sort of thing. You know, Chuck knows more than Anson, who's taught Anson a lot. Anson knows more about production and recording than me, so he's teaching me, you know, and so just that iron sharpens iron sort of thing, like, you know, and hopefully I will pass that down to the next artist, you know, however I can, you know.
Yeah, I mean, so like how has having a mentor helped your creative journey?
I get what you're saying, and I think my take on it is that I'm kind of a self-proclaimed protege. I say I'm Chuck's self-proclaimed protege because it's not like he ever offered to be my mentor or anything. It's not a established, like, you know, real thing. It's just more like I've always gone to him when I had a question, and when I am working directly with him in the studio, I just try to pick up what I can from him, and I ask questions like, what is compression? What does that mean? What are you doing? Mm-hmm. And he attempts to explain it to me as best as he can, and it still doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but did you figure that one out?
But I try, but I can apply the things, and, you know, the 10 years from this album to the next, when I tried to really dive into recording and producing, I would ask him questions. He would come through and help me set up things, and when I'd get stuck, you know, it was cool. But that 10 years really showed me that not only does he like know all these things about microphone placement and all that stuff, it helps to have someone else there with you in the process, you know, mm-hmm. pushing start and record and stop, and then saying, you were close, you can do better.
Yeah,
you know, and just not relying on yourself to be like, is it good? Is it not good? Because it's never good enough.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You can always find something wrong with your own songs, but
sure. Yeah.
I mean that's the beauty of it, you know. So when I was listening to your guys' music, right, I was like, okay, yeah, these guys have for sure been doing this. These songs sound well written, like they sound like they've found, you know, their somewhat of their voice as an artist, like, and are you know, presenting themselves in the way that they want to. So I kind of wanted to ask, how do you go about, and I'll ask you, Zach, how do you go about writing a song, and what kind of initiates the song, or, you know, the lyrics?
Sure. So, I mean, mostly when I'm feeling something either really negative or really positive, that's when it motivates me to be like, I should get this feeling down. And you know, I'm kind of an introvert, you know, or it's not always easy for me to express myself, you know, but I have found that I can express myself pretty well with words, with lyrics and stuff, and so you know, what initiates it is you know, is feelings that I'm not really describing, or something really heavy or whatever, and and yeah, and usually I'll noodle around on a guitar, you know, and if there's something that I like, I try to put words to that, you know, and I usually try to find the melody first. So like a song first, it starts off as and then I'm trying to match what I'm feeling in that moment to that melody. So I put in the words later, you know, and you said about finding my voice, you know, it took a long time. It took a while. You know, I'm not new to trying to write songs or whatever, and for a long time I didn't even know if I was good at it, and I was very insecure, and it was hard for me to play in front of people and all those things. But it's just a thing that always persisted, you know, and it kept persisting, and now at this point, you know, 35 years old, I'm just like I am me. You know, I'm only going to be me. I'm never going to be anyone else. I try to emulate things that I really like, you know. Like, I'll never be Kendrick Lamar, right? But I can try to do my own version of something like that, and it comes out totally different. And for me, it has to be honest. You know, it has to. If it's not honest, I'm not. It's not going to come out well. So So as a songwriter, you know, finding my voice is something that took a while, and so I encourage people to, you know, you're not going to be that finished product at the very beginning. You know, it's going to take a little bit of time and practice. And
yeah, were those first? Do you ever look back at some of those earlier songs and you're like, man, like what was I thinking? Or
sure, sometimes, but sometimes I'll be like, hey, I was cooking something here. Like, that's a cool little melody, you know, or I like to revisit certain stuff or things like that. But also there's a lot of stuff that is like very simplistic, and simple's good. Simple's good. I still believe highly in remaining simplistic as much as I can, but back to those early days, I'm like, okay, like I was, you know, I've grown more since then, and so but every artist always kind of likes what they're doing nowadays.
When you're doing it.
Yeah, when you're doing it, because you're like, why would you be doing it if you didn't like it, you know? So
I think Zach's a fantastic songwriter.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I haven't ever had like a friend that or a person, a musician that's become a friend that wasn't, you know, my friend, that I could like just be like really digging on his music, which is cool. And now when you bring song like the song you brought the other day, I was like, wow, that's another good song, man. I just really like it.
New stuff cooking, man. New music,
and
yeah.
But your concepts, you roll around like in these concepts, and like a song has a full concept and theme in it, and
sure,
me erasing me is what pops out right now for me.
Thank you, man.
That song came to me over the weekend in a profound realization. Someone was talking and I was like, it's me always erasing me, because they were talking and I was like, you wrote that? That's what you wrote the song about. We're always just messing our own shit up, you know?
Yeah, Me Erasing Me is one of my favorite. It's a lot of people's favorites, and it's one of those things like honest. It was just a moment of honesty. You know, I was in my addiction. I was, you know, everything in my life was sucked. And for a long time, I blamed every other person and thing and circumstance and the way that I was raised. And, you know, if my dad had done this, if my mom had done this, blah, blah, blah. And at this certain point of honesty, like it just was like, man, I'm the only common denominator in this situation, and my life was in shambles. My kids were out of my life, you know. I couldn't hold a relationship. I couldn't hold a job. I was in and off the streets, you know. And so that's where that point came from. It was like, oh man, like I really am the biggest one causing all of my problems here, you know. And so it's just kind of like that thing where you know, it's a hard truth. But at the same time, it's kind of freeing, right? Where it's like, okay, I'm the issue here. What can I do better? What can I do differently? And so, you know, recovery, it was a path that, and mind you, I tried several times in several different ways to try to get sober, try to get my life together. And, but it was part of that path that keeps, that led me to the point where I am now and doing better, you know, and so
yeah, I like that song. The one that stuck out to me too was Blood Sucking.
Yeah,
Blood Sucking Jack.
I was gonna say that's my favorite. I think
Yeah,
'Cause I love Me and Racing
ooh.
Me for the how it was written and what it says, but for some reason, Bloodsucking Dracula is like, I think everyone can relate to it.
Yeah.
Even if you are, you know, even if you're a woman, you've been through a relationship that
Toxic,
had
yeah,
something
toxic
going on like
stuff.
that, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And shout out to Princess Lucy, who's my producer. She produced 3 songs, and she actually produced a song that just came out December 19th, Half the Time. And she's amazing, and she helped me. You know, these songs were written on the acoustic guitar, and it's just me, you know. And for a lot of time, I wasn't playing with any bands or anything like that. So she helped me build that song from the ground up and made it into full productions, incredibly. And everybody, every producer friend that I show that mix and stuff, they're like, dude, who mixed this? It's great. They did great. And that's Lucy, and I recommend you guys reaching out to her. She's dope.
Fire, bro. Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about that. New single is out now.
Yeah.
Half the Time.
Yeah.
Let's congrats on that.
Thank you. Thank you.
What is the story behind that, and you know, what kind of inspired that song?
So Half the Time really stems from toxic relationship stuff again, you know, and I wrote that during that time. Like we said about the songwriting stuff, right? Like, it's something that motivated me to get something started. How am I feeling about this? And this is how I feel. I feel trapped in this, and I feel like the best thing for me to do is take off, right? And because that's what I do. I'm a runner. I'll take off, right, when things get hard. And so, but the bridge of the song comes back around where it's like, where I'm saying like, but I left and I'm doing fine. But I'm doing fine half the time, you know. So it's like, it's really another moment of honesty where it's like, you know, I thought if I left this relationship, I'd be all good, but I wasn't really all good, you know. So, but I'm really excited for the production of it. I just, you know, there's some trumpet in there that Lucy brought in, and she brought in some great percussion and things from around the world, and it's cool, man. I'm saying her production is really cool, you know, and so to see like just a little song that I wrote, and she made it so big, you know, so big, and I'm just like, man, like I'm living the dream, you know. I'm living the dream because I was just in my little room writing that little song, and I get to hold it in my hands, and it's just like really cool big thing that somebody else made for me, you know. It's cool.
Yeah. How do you go about, because if you're starting the song acoustically, how do you decide, okay, I want to make this part bigger, and how do you know when to say when? You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
How do you go about those decisions?
That's a great question, and it's a fine dance, you know, because I have tried to take something that was acoustic and try to make it something where it's not, and it didn't come out. It didn't ring true to the original thing. So I always want to honor that acoustic side of me, because that's, you know, that's that 10,000 hours where nobody was watching, you know, sort of thing. It was just me and my acoustic guitar. I couldn't find people to jam with, or I wasn't able to jam with certain people, and blah blah blah. You know, I love being in bands. It's fun and stuff like that, but I always want to kind of, if I wrote a song on an acoustic guitar, just me, I always want to kind of honor that, you know, and without taking away from that. And if we can put layers on top without taking away that element, I think it's a great. But it's a little dance, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you want to keep that original feeling of like that,
for sure,
that acoustic that you had when you were writing that acoustic, but to the biggest extent that you could make it.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So okay, let's I want to talk about the new project, Just One.
Just one.
So we were mentioning it throughout. It's kind of been the theme today, I guess. You know, just
for sure.
You know, one opportunity, one moment.
You only get one shot.
You get one shot. No, I'm just kidding.
It's not a new concept, that's for sure.
No, but the way that you're presenting it, I think it's really cool. And something that stuck out to me was you know, your relationship with your brother and kind of how that ties into this.
Yeah.
Can you explain a little bit about that and, you know, your a little bit about your relationship with him?
Sure. Yeah, my brother is he's 19 years older than me, and he was born with the disabilities he has now. His brain didn't properly develop. It's like a really rare condition, encephalopathy, I believe, some form static encephalopathy. So in short, his cerebellum didn't fully develop, and that's like the main motor neurons. So everything he does is a little slower, and his cognition is a little less capable. You know, maybe I say he's around an 8-year-old or maybe a 6-year-old, 6 to 8. I don't know. He can understand great concepts, but there's a limitation to his ability to explain himself and search for the right words and things like that. But yeah, people get to know him and they're like, man, he's really deep, or he's capable of so much more than I thought. And yeah, that's one of those cool surprises you get to know. He loves music, so he raised me on classic rock.
Nice.
And singer-songwriters like Elton John and Neil Diamond and, you know, the Beatles, Aerosmith, all the greats, Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
And he had a huge music collection in this. We had half the 1-car garage on the 3-car garage port. The 1-car garage was his room, so he had a drum kit and a waterbed, and then a huge wall of all his music equipment, which was vinyls, 8-tracks, cassettes, CDs. He would make his own mixtapes when he was younger.
Nice.
He eventually went blind later in life, and so that limited him further. But he still loves to play the drums. And so, yeah, I say I take care of him, but he takes care of me.
Nice.
You know?
Yeah, and you are his primary caretaker.
Yeah, I'm his primary caregiver, and like we're a family unit, just the two of us. You know, we have a dog now, which we got 2 years ago when I began my recovery journey, and a few cats, but and a roommate. You know,
Nice.
so, but yeah, he's amazing. His name's Michael, and or Monkey Butt.
Everyone knows him as Monkey Butt.
Yeah,
Affectionately known as Monkey Butt. He's actually calling us Monkey Butt. So he's just, what's up, Monkey Butt? What's up, Monkey Butt? You know, and everybody at the Night Owl knows Monkey Butt, knows Michael, and loves him, adores him. He performs. He's always the first guy to go up and sing, and he'll sing a song, and he's a light. He's a light in this world, you know. So
Yeah,
Oh, that's beautiful.
yeah.
So then, what made you, you know, include him and have him be a part of the project?
Oh man, that's kind of a story. I've always wanted to incorporate Michael into my stuff, but I was on this 8-mile trail run in Big Bear, and I just decided to like have a conversation with God, and in that conversation, I was asking what I should do about these 4 main things that I was kind of stuck on right at the moment. And I got this vision, and it was very clear to me, you know. He said, incorporate Michael into your music, you know, bring him in to tell the story. And then I saw an image of me, like, holding him like that. And so I was like, better listen.
Yeah.
So I went and took those photos, and you know, it's funny because like then, you know, people are telling me, hey, you should get a TikTok. You should get a TikTok. Go live on TikTok. It's they'll reward you for going live and posting a lot. And then my buddy says, you know, go live with your brother. And I was like, oh man, that's great, because he would love to go live with me. And so we started doing that. And he just loves it. Now he goes, Anson, we go live on TikTok. You know, I'm like, let's do it, buddy. You know, play 3 songs. I think it's just, like I said, the story is going to be where I build the connection with the people. And then the people can, for me, I know it rings true because when I first heard Jelly Roll go on Joe Rogan, I had no idea who Jelly Roll was. And I wouldn't listen to his music. And once I heard the story, I knew this person, this human being differently.
It made you want to.
Yeah, and I related to him. Yeah. And then I was able to listen to his songs from a perspective, you know, instead of just my ears. and in my heart, and it connected me to the person. Then I was like, that's what I got to do, tell the story on. And podcast was just like what I thought would be the most achievable form of doing that.
Sure.
Yeah. At this point, we got to do a few podcasts to fully tell this whole story. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot to tell here. You know, so I wanted to ask both of you guys are actively like sober now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a beautiful thing. How has sobriety affected you guys, and do you feel like it's helped you be more creative?
So, I how sobriety has affected me is like I have a lot more time, and sobriety is not for everybody, and not everybody needs it, and most people can have a cocktail or two and take an Uber home and wake up for work the next day. Like, I was never really that person. I took everything to the extreme, and I ended up pretty extreme places. So for me, what sobriety does for me today is, I have a lot more time. I get to do the things that I want to do. I'm not blowing my money on drugs and alcohol. I'm not, I'm reliable. You talked about being reliable, right? And the drugs and alcohol made me unreliable. And, even some people are California sober, I think that if that works for them, that's great. It doesn't work for me. It never has, because I smoke a little weed. I smoke a little weed for a while, and then it just keeps going. And I had to discover that for myself, and that's what works for me. And so for the music thing, I mean, it just kind of speaks for itself. I've been sober for 3.5 years, and I've put out more music recently than ever before. I feel like I'm a version of myself that I'm proud of. And in that, I can be confident in what I'm doing, and so in creatively wise, it's the creativity, I feel, it took a while to come back.
Yeah.
It took a while to come back. I will admit that. Like, there was nothing like, drinking a little and listening to something, or smoke a little bud or whatever, or I do a little meth and be up writing all night and, like all night for, or 2 days straight or whatever. I had grown used to that, so it was all, it took me a while to get my bearings back. And I even came to the point, well, you know what? I may never write anything ever again. Wow. I may, who knows? But I knew that sobriety was my only path forward, and so that was worth it to me. And thank God, man, thank God. It took a little time, but it came back, and I just started working on ideas, or I wrote a song for my fiance. That was the first thing that I wrote. And she wasn't my fiance at the time. It was a girl that I was seeing with, and I liked her, and I was like, let me put this down. Maybe I still got a little something, And I wrote the song. I paid to have it go recorded. It's called Stay a While. It came out in 2023, and that was so big for me, man, because it was like, wait a second, I may still have something here. And so that was that, and so I encourage people new in sobriety or not in sobriety, whatever, just be a little patient. It may take a little time, but if you want something bad enough, like keep coming back, keep coming back, and you'll get it, it'll come to you.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I didn't know that it was a process. Like you basically had to fall in love with music again and fall in love with the writing process, huh?
Sure, yeah, the writing aspect.
You kind of have to fall in love with yourself again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You kind of have to learn to love yourself again.
Yeah. So, without just the distortion of whatever substance was there.
Exactly.
Sure.
Dang. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, it's cool now that you're on the other side of it and found, that spark, of writing and putting stuff out there. And I feel like you guys, just from sitting here and talking to you, you both seem very driven, like you guys want this, I mean? Like you guys, not just like, oh, I want to make $1 million, but I want to make music, which is a beautiful thing, because
thanks, man.
Music is a beautiful thing,
Yeah.
So it's great.
I think some part of that is like coming to terms with it. Like you have to come to terms with something. and then recognizing that if I never, most people are going to do their creative pursuit and pay for it for their whole life, right? Like physically pay for it, like work a job and pay to do music, work a job and pay to be in film or whatever because they love it, or act or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. Most people are going to do that, and I'm just, that's what I decided. I just let it go and decided I'd pay to play. Wait, yeah, I do pay to play. Yeah. Wait. Okay, I'm willing to pay to play, like, because I love it. Like, yeah, it's an expensive
not only would you do it for free, you would
actually not only would I do it for free, I will pay to perform for you.
Yeah. And we have.
Well, how much do we pay? Yeah, the equipment, the hustle, the drive, the everything.
Yeah, it's you gotta want it in this.
Sometimes you actually pay, like you actually deposit $500-$600 on a venue, saying,
and hope you can sell it back in tickets.
Yeah, hope you can sell it back in tickets, and sometimes you don't. Mm-hmm. So sometimes you actually pay to play.
Yeah, sometimes you lose money, but then if you lose money, when you actually are in the green, it feels so much
even
better,
a little green. Like when I made I produced an album for a girl, a friend, and she gave me, at the end of the whole thing, it was an 8-song EP, and I just did it because I wanted practice. At the end of it, she gave me $300, and I was like, I made money. I got paid.
You're professionals.
What a blessing.
$300 a year, baby.
We making it.
Oh, you gotta claim that. You gotta claim that on your taxes.
Don't tell anyone. You don't gotta claim it up to like
I don't know
15,000.
I have no idea how that was.
No, it was just a gift. Come on.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. There's nothing in exchange for it.
Okay, cool. I want to jump into this section that I do. It's the URG Studios quick fire rapid questions. So we're gonna knock it out real quick. Okay. So I'll start over here. If you could perform under one color of light on the stage for the rest of your performances, what colored light would you pick?
Green.
Ooh,
I don't know. I was just like, he's gonna ask me my favorite color, so I just picked green before you even said it. Orange. I think orange is my favorite color.
Okay.
I don't know.
So
yellow.
Orange light?
Shoot.
We'll do an orange on one side, green on the other side.
Those are great
orange
colors.
And green is cool. Yeah. I like orange, green, yellow. I don't know. Yeah, I love it. Yeah. You go.
Okay. If you could describe your music as a type of weather, what type of weather would it be?
Let's see. A sunshine day that later gets a little cloudy, but then by the end of the day, the sun comes out again.
Okay, I love that. Yeah. It's a whole journey you go on.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, fire. All right, next question. What's the first thing you do or think of when you wake up?
Be honest.
This sucks.
That's real.
Waking up sucks. Yeah, it does.
Okay. Last question. It's a bit of a hard one. Okay. If you could star in any movie, what movie would it be, and who would you play?
Okay. Saving Private Ryan, and I love the dude who's like the bad sniper dude. The guy who gets the other sniper in through his looker thing, and that just shows you I'm not good at shooting because I called it a looker thing. But I just always loved that dude, man. Like he was badass. He was a badass, man.
That's awesome. All right, that was great. We knocked out the quick fire questions. Man, I want to thank you guys for coming on the podcast today.
This was awesome. Yeah.
I appreciate you guys so much. A great conversation. I know there's a lot of things that we didn't go over, but hey, that's just an excuse to do another one.
Come back.
Yeah, hey, that would be awesome. We'd love to come back. I'd love to come back.
Yeah, this was a great experience. You're a great interviewer. You listen and you ask great questions, man. And this is a good setup that you have. And man, I'm rooting for you hard, dude. You got a new fan, man.
Love, bro.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Let them know where they could find you, your Instagram or your socials or whatever you want to let the people know.
Okay, Zack SoCal, Zack. Zack is spelled with a K. Okay, those H Zackers.
Yeah.
Zack SoCal, all one word. Instagram, TikTok, and I'm on YouTube as well. Spotify, all that stuff. Oh, Zack, I'm under Zack Guerrero on Spotify. That's my artist name. That's my name.
Just
and
my
so
name.
yeah, ZCK Guerrero. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Beautiful.
All my stuff is under my name, Anson Corsair. AnsonCorsair.com. Instagram's Anson Corsair.
He's got a website.
And I got a web. Oh, I said that already. I got a website. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a newsletter. I've tried to write. I won't bombard you, but I do introspective writing, and everything's under Anson Corsair. So,
Yeah.
and monkey butt shirts are for sale if you want to join the monkey butt crew. For my
Man.
brother to support him.
I'm gonna have to get me a monkey butt shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll hook you up.
They're fun, man.
All right, cool. Well, thank you guys again. Make sure to go check out all the singles. The project's coming out very soon. And if you like this video, you like the podcast that we do, make sure to like and subscribe. And we're gonna catch you on the next one.
Peace out.
Later.
Thank you.